He said, yo, you keep saying you gonna do this and you gonna do that, but when you gonna bet on you? You keep building everybody else up. You keep, making the excuse that you need to get this, you need to do that, you need to have all these things before you jump out there. But when you gonna bet on you?
I made it come up. I made it come up. I made it come up.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Interviews with Your Brand Man. Y'all, I got the man himself, Mr. Anthony Lee. This dude is like, I consider him a real estate mogul. Like, this guy, like, he's a real estate mogul. But not only that, like, he teaches courses, he teaches class, he teaches people how to get to the next level themselves. He doesn't just hoard all the information. This brother is all the way genuine. So I just had to give that introduction right there. I feel like I still didn't even give it enough credit. But Anthony, man, please tell the people who you are and what you do and where you come from. Give them all of that jazz, man.
Nah, so I appreciate you having me on here, man. Salute to what you've been doing. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the movement you've been pushing. You told me you was gonna put this together, and you've been kicking it ever since. So salute, man. But for those who don't know, Anthony Lee, A. Lee Real Estate on social media. I'm a licensed agent here in Pennsylvania with Mosaic Brokerage. I run my own real estate team called the Good Neighbor Real Estate Team. Good Neighbor Real Estate Group. So we're the team, we're licensed in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. So we help primarily a lot of first-time home buyers, but we also help people move from that first house to that forever home. So whatever you need, and then also we help investors as well. New investors, seasoned investors.
Oh man,
that's who I am, man. Anthony Lee, all things real estate.
Man, this dude is a plug. Well, he helped me get my crib, man, and he was a blessing all the way through. Like, definitely, I'm in the house right now because of this guy. Like, I got my first investment because of this guy. Like, for real, like assets over liabilities because of Anthony Lee. So, yo, I'm telling y'all right now, this is who y'all need to actually follow. Make sure y'all listen and pay attention. And like I said, he has a phenomenal group and phenomenal partners and just a phenomenal community that continues to bless and brings knowledge and all of this information to the forefront. You know, when I took his course, I learned so many things just about business credit that I had no idea on. And I went on and got my first business credit card after I took that course. So it's just like, yo, like this gems being dropped. So I want y'all to know, Mr. Anthony Lee, man, he's full time into this. Like, he does this real estate thing. This is his thing. It's not a side hustle. It's not a part-time joint ski. It's not, my man. Like, he's all in 100%. So let's tell him about the story. I really want you to talk to the people about the story. I want them to understand the grit and the grind that it took you to get to this level of where you at. Like, some people might see it and think you have arrived. You know, you might feel like at times that you have arrived, but we all know the grind. Like, the grind is always going to be the grind. Even if we arrived or not, it's always going to be a grind because it's about sustainability. But you're here now and you're doing phenomenal things, good brother. And I want you to tell that story from little Anthony Lee to big Anthony Lee. Like, how did you get into real estate? Were you always this kind of mogul concept? Were you always, did you always like real estate? How did you even get into it? Like, what made you make the shift? Did you like money? Talk about it.
So honestly, that's what it was. I always just had a passion for being an entrepreneur. Honestly, it's just always been in me. Like, when people say they know, I didn't know exactly who I was, but I had an idea.
Okay.
So I'm talking first grade, second grade. My grandpa worked for the NBA. So I would always go like in locker rooms and in the media rooms with my grandpa for the 76ers.
That's dope.
And they would give me memorabilia. I would take the memorabilia to school and sell it.
Oh, shucks.
So one day I came home with $50 and, you know, black mom, she panics and thinks I'm doing something illegal. So not only did I get a beating, she took my money. But how you mad at me? She treats you
like the street straight up. She beat you and took your money.
Right. I got bullied on the block, right? But it's like, how do you how do you get mad at me? I'm like, I thought I did something good. Like, but you like, no, you're not supposed to sell the stuff that you get from your grandpa. So like, all right, so that got shut down. All I was trying to do, I was feeling good. I was like, yo, mom, I'm buying pizza tonight. We ordering out.
Not with this money.
Look, and I was like, So next thing I know, that got shut down. So by the time I got to 7th, 8th grade, around 12, it was a gentleman on my block in Yaden where I grew up at. He was cutting grass, lawn mowing. He let me work with him, trying to make a little money at the time. So I'm 12. I'm thinking, I'm making 20, 30 bucks. That's decent. Yeah, but the problem was I realized how much he was making. Sure. So I did it for a summer and I was humping, thinking I was, like I'm a working man. So, I'm happy. Like, Pop, I go to work too, Pop. I see you when you get home, when I get home. You go work, I'm gonna go work, like, yeah, Pop. So then, but I found out boy was giving me slave wages because I was doing the lawn mowing, I was doing the cleaning. We was running through it and I see he be chilling, sitting on the ladies' porches talking to them. So this $20, $30, like I said, it stopped. It wasn't adding up. I learned this probably like after the first summer. So what I did was I still worked with him because I still was trying to learn. Yeah. I don't know, something said still work with him, but then I started cutting yards on the side on my own after I would work with him. So from there, I basically had a landscaping business from the time I was 13 to like 22.
Dang. Hold on. So rewind back a little bit. How did you find out that he was not giving you what you deserve? How did you get to that?
So I didn't necessarily know exactly what I was supposed to get, but I know I wasn't supposed to only be making 20, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
And we was cutting 10, 15 yards a day.
Okay.
And I was, like I said,
the math didn't add up with the number of yards y'all were doing. Okay.
Right. And like I said, then I peeped, like I think I seen one of the slips. He might have been getting $35, $45. But you was only paying me off of one house for all the houses we did.
Hey.
Old head,
jerking them.
He's being slick.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was still cool because it was really paid training for me. Yeah. One, how not to treat the people that work with you. Two, how to run a business because, like I said, he had clientele all over. He was doing his thing. If I ever got to see him, I would thank him, like, because I haven't seen him in so long, ever since he moved from the neighborhood. But like I said, that was my little introduction to it. And then, like I said, I had the landscaping business every summer or when it got warm. I was cutting grass. I had one lawnmower, a gas can, and a broom, and I was just going from house to house, and that was I used to shovel snow. So that money from shoveling snow, you come home, like I used to feet numb till I made $500, $600 just from shoveling snow all around. So it'd be like, bet if I could do that shoveling snow, I'm gonna do it cutting grass. So then once I started learning to cutting grass, I started hiring my homies. And finally, by the time I'm like high school, I finally had a car. So we put the lawnmower in the back of the trunk, with the equipment. And then we should start going different places. Like I said, we cutting grass. So I started helping my homies. My one homie, my young boy, he worked with me for one summer. Then he quit after he bought his first car. He just wanted a car. He saved up his money, bought a car. From cutting grass.
Off of the landscaping business.
Right.
They said you were paying them more than that $30.
Oh no, I was making sure they was getting, at least a couple dollars a week. Like I said, we was getting to it. We was doing our thing. Like
now, how was mom with this business? Was she a little bit more?
She knew what it was. She the one who helped. So mom and dad invested, helped me keep getting more equipment every year.
That's what's up, yo.
So for me, I kind of said that was like my introduction, but my background was mom's like, yo, go to school, get a degree, get your education because you'll get a good job. But the difference was my mom was a nurse.
Okay.
So her take on education and how it worked was different. So for me, I ain't that smart. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't passing no science classes and the math. I'm just getting by. So it's like, and it ain't gonna work for me. So me getting an education and degree, it didn't have the same leverage as it did for her or other people who had certain degrees. So like I love college. I think college everybody should experience. I just think you can't use it for making money. You're using it to network and then you'll make money.
And then you'll make the money. And it's not a one turnkey stop for everything, Right. It's not the thing that's gonna it'll help you, but it's not the thing like they tell you, like it's going to catapult you type time. Yeah.
But again, the relationships, the organization that teach you the responsibility, the networking, because depending on where you come from, at least for me, I realized like that was when I first met somebody that had a house other than their primary house that was a beach house with a boat and a jet ski.
Yeah. So you getting exposure. You getting mad exposure. Yeah.
But I'm only meeting these people because we're in the same dorms. We see each other. We work together. So it's only whether we black, white, red, blue. At some point, we're going to cross paths and talk. And me and this one gentleman, we spoke, we talked, we hit it off. Next thing I know, he invited me to the summer house.
Yeah.
They making sandwiches. They chilling. I'm like, ain't nobody smoking no weed. Ain't no gunshot.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah, this is different.
Right. They like, yeah, come on, get on the jet ski. At the time, I bought my lady friend at the time. Like, I'm like, yeah, girl, I know people with jet skis and boats. So I definitely say, yo, college was a thing. So for me, with college, I was able to really build my network. And then in college is where I got introduced to real estate. So I had a cousin from New York. Shout out to my man, Jay. He pulled up in a Maserati one day. So again, I'm thinking, I thought you just had a regular job because he works for SEPTA in New York for the Metro. I'm like, dog, you work on buses and stuff. What? How you get Metro? You're not a rapper.
Maserati,
Maserati, yeah. Like you're not a rapper. So he was like, put me in a car. I rode around during Thanksgiving with him, and he was like, these buildings. I bought it for this amount. It's worth this amount. I refinanced it or I sell it. I go to auction. I buy the cars I like. I use the houses to buy the toys that I like.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what? What?
So that's mind blowing for like an 18. How old were you? 18, 19?
19.
Yeah, that's mind blowing, man. That's mad exposure right there. Yeah, keep going, man.
So that was the first introduction. And then the other introduction was, like I said, so again, you got to pick and choose who you gravitate to when you're in any environment. So the barbershop, like I said, initially I thought it was the girls, the clothes, the money, the cars. You see the drug dealers, you see all the stuff. But at the barbershop, and let me back up, I gravitated to one barber in particular. He's like my big brother now. We call him G, but he'd been at the barbershop for years. He started cutting hair when he was like 17, 18. So he's like, they showed me the money they make from cribs. So I start buying cribs and he started renting rooms. One day I pulled up to the crib. I'm like, man, this look like a regular house. Since you don't look trash on the outside though.
Yeah.
He like, let me show you something. I go in the crib. It's 3 bedrooms on the first floor, 3 bedrooms on the second floor, and 2 bedrooms upstairs on the third floor. One house. Yeah. And they pay $100 to $200 a week.
Yeah, man.
He said, so whether I cut hair or don't, I always make money. I said, what? Every Friday?
Yeah.
I said, I went to work this week and I worked how much? What?
Man. It don't add up when you get through the numbers, man. It don't add up.
Because and that's where I had to learn everybody's situation is different. So granted, like most people frown upon it, but so like I took the room game. Initially, I wanted to do it like him, but I said, I don't want to deal with the clientele that is weekly. So like I set my rooms up where I got a regular house like that me and you would live in, but I let people rent rooms out of it because it got a different feel and it feels like a home, but I'm not cramming as many people. So you got to pay more for a room in my spot because I'm not treating it like a stop and go.
Yeah.
Because it's really going to be your home. So you got a nice kitchen.
And it's bathroom. Like a community home too. Yeah.
Group home. We're going to talk about that. Home. So we're going to talk about that. But that's my spin on the room. So I kind of like to play with different things. But like I said, once I seen that, I got snapped out. My cousin told me about this book. Let me guess. You know what book I'm talking about? The book everybody
Rich Dad Poor Dad is.
Dog, he told me, and then G told me. So like I gotta read it. I'm in school at night. I ain't watching TV now. I'm just reading the book. Do my schoolwork, read the book. Do my schoolwork, read the book. Go to the gym, mess with the girls, read the book. Yeah. And then from there, I start learning. They got groups that teach the real estate, but most of these groups be white men and they be old. It don't be a lot of minorities in it. So I'm learning and they like, I got a Benz. I bought this building so my kid could go to college and live in the building and his roommates pay him rent. I'm like, what?
Whole nother level of thinking. Yeah.
The jet skis come back because the other boy, like, I raise money and I buy this and I got jet skis and they show you the lifestyle to get you to work with them. And I'm like, all right, I see what this Instagram stuff, they've been doing it. It just ain't been on the gram.
Been on the gram. Yeah. They've been using these as lures. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, all right. So the real estate. So for me, that was when I kind of gonna lie. I kind of gave up on school a little bit. I was already struggling in school. Because again, I tried to follow the path my mom wanted for me, what she thought was best for me, and not necessarily what I really wanted or what I was good at, what was working for me. So I went to school for sports medicine. I'm flunking. I'm about to be on academic probation my sophomore year. I'm in, school snapping out. I said, forget it. I switched my major to education, early childhood elementary education, so I still could graduate on time. I love teaching kids, which is why I think real estate actually works for me. So I do teach kids. I teach adults, and now I know how to put presentations together, but I didn't necessarily need to spend 60 grand in student loans to do it. But it's part of the process. But best believe I got that money back because most of the people I started selling houses to, once I got my real estate license, they all went to college with me. So for me, I didn't know nobody that had a good enough job and good enough credit that just came out of high school and was getting to it at 22, 23. Now I sell houses to my friends that been at their job since they was 18, 19. Now they 33, 34. So again, that trajectory is a little higher once you add that degree in. Yeah. But at the same token, it's not the end all be all. So I just say I'm grateful for that experience, but that's what basically introduced me to real estate. And, I didn't bought all the Than Merrills, the Carlton Sheets, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you name it. I done bought all that stuff into all the events. And eventually I went to a networking event. I met this guy named Chirag and Bill Kratz. But Chirag was a person that took me under his wing. Another one, in fact, one of like the old head for the grass. Come work with me, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of money. And then I was just happy because it was more than what I was making. So I'm thinking, to your point, we was renting rooms down Temple. Okay. For college kids.
Okay, yeah.
So we rent the rooms for $500 a pop. Because this back before Temple really was Temple 2013-ish, 12-ish. Okay. So them new construction buildings that you see, they was renting rooms in them back then. Yeah. So it's 12 rooms in these buildings. Yeah. And they nice. They paying $500.
Yeah, North Philly, them buildings is humongous, man. Yeah.
Dog, you talking $500, $700 a room. So they pay us $500 to put the people in it. So he was getting like $200-$300 off the top. And I was getting my little $200 off of it. But I'm doing 10, 12 people a week getting this money. So I'm thinking I'm doing something. So again, like you said, it took me time to realize like I'm leaving money on the table, only messing with this room stuff. So that's when I went and got my real estate license. Once I got my real estate license, it was like it taught me another side of learning the real estate business, man. And from there, again, I just started networking, plugging and playing. And I just started realizing that real estate really is the cheat code to living the life that you want through the houses. You live your life through the houses and other people pay for your life through the houses.
Man, true.
Mortgage, the tenants pay it. You get a big enough property, the tenants will pay the mortgage and plus your car note. You get another property, them tenants will pay, your kids' tuition plus the mortgage. Get another property, use that money to pay for the vacation you want to go on every year. Took my kids to Disney last year, then took my wife to Jamaica, and I took my mom to Disney. We calling out of school this week because we going to Mexico.
Yo, come with it, man. Drop them gems. So, all right. So we here now with it, man. That's a beautiful journey. That's a beautiful story. Let's talk about. So you were working, right? Were you still working up till what point did you go full time in?
So I quit twice. Okay. So the first time I got laid off. So again, I took a job after college, working sanitation, because it was a job that they got me my CDL, and I still got to do like landscaping. So I'm like, that's already up my alley. I can do that. Yeah. But they was paying like, once you got full time, you was gonna be making like $25 an hour. Mm-hmm. So I said, bet. I'm working that job, and I was cutting grass after work and during my lunch break. And it was a period I was cutting hair. So in college, I was selling CDs, DVDs. Can I say pornos? I was selling pornos.
Yeah, go for it. That was a hike up price, right?
that was the premium price. That was the
pun intended.
Right, everybody knew. They was like, "Yo, I need a CD and I need a
job." 2 thumbs up.
Because I be in the lunchroom in the cafe. I just go sit at the cafeteria with another duffel bag, like hustle man, like, yo, what you need?
Yeah, mom didn't know about that hustle though.
Look, that was when CDs and DVDs was popping, so I was killing them. Especially book buyback, dog. I make like a stack just off CD. I be up all night burning CDs, hit my DVD man up, man. So that was that was part of that. But like I said, I always wanted to figure out like what can I do to make money without having to always grind so hard or not to be nickel and diamond. So cutting grass was cool, but to me that was like, again, the nickel and diamond. And to me, real estate was, I wanted to get stuff that I was getting checks. Like that was the thing I thought was going to solidify success. Was getting checks. And then I had to learn there's levels to checks and then there's levels to wires. When you see a wire for $100,000 come across your account or 30 grand, or when you see somebody across the table, they like, yo, all I'm doing is signing the joint, and they like, oh, the wire sent already, and you like, what just happened? Nobody exchanged no hands, ain't nobody fight, ain't nobody argue, and everybody smiling. You like, it's really levels to it. So that process for me was get a job. So I used my job initially. I got laid off 2012. That was, again, what really forced me to like, yo, you got to figure it out. So I used my unemployment for a little bit, got my real estate license, was working doing the rooms down Temple with my guy, Sharad. I failed my real estate exam 10 times though. So it took me a little minute to pass the test after I took the classes.
Dang, yo. So you was persistent with it though, man. That just speaks to drive, bro. Like persistence.
So I got like this condition that I don't like quitting.
Yeah, clearly.
No matter how hard or detriment it is to my physical, my health. And I ain't gonna lie, it's the disappointment. Like when people be like, "Oh, I told you know how people is." You know, you tell your folks, they're your folks, and you know, you failed. You're like, "Damn, you failed the test." Ha. Yeah. Like you be all right, dog. Like, no, I ain't like that. Ha shit. Like,
I ain't like that. Yo, I'm the same way. Like, my biggest motivation is you telling me what I can't do. Like, tell me what I can't do. I'm not stopping until it's done. Right.
And that's the thing. So I just kept beating the lady at the test place on City Line Ave used to be like, "You back?" I say, "Yeah." Look, you still at work?
Yeah, you
still at work?
Yo, serve up that test.
Right now. So, and the thing was, by the time I took it the 8th time, I kept failing by 1 and 2 points.
Dang.
1 and 2, like every time. It was, I think the last time it was like 2 points. The time before that, it was 1 point. So it was just like.
So walk me through that mindset. Like, so you said you failed this test 10 times. All right. So when you got past 5, you know, you said you got the mindset to push through and not quit. So I'm sure like your first John, you was like, all right, bet, whatever. Second one, all right, this, third one. All right. Now I'm talking about you got the 5, right? Where's your spirit at 5?
5 is when I finally start crying.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. You sitting in the car like, this ain't. And then at the time I had just moved in with my wife, but with my lady at the time, who is my wife now. And it was like, what's up with you? Like, you good? And then and that's why, like I say, I married my wife, because she was on that type time. Like, you gonna stop bitching, man. Like, you gonna get up you know what I mean? You gonna, let's go. And so every time I would go, she'd be like, all right, well, you ready to quit yet? No, I ain't ready to quit. Who you talking to? I ain't ready to quit. So, that was really the motivation. And again, just after that, like I said, I came too far to quit at this point. Like, I didn't already feel like E.T. said, you already in pain. You might as well get something for it.
Get something for it. Yo, that's what's up. So you had your wife in your corner, just kind of backing you up. Where would you think you would be without that kind of support?
So I ain't gonna lie, I still would have did it. It just, I might have prolonged it. You know how you hear people like you started something and you ain't finished it till 3 years later? Like, it might have been that type of time.
Okay. So, all right. So you went through the ringer. You got your license. Now we still ain't on the second time you got canned, right? So
no. So the second time I didn't get canned. So what happened was I started selling. I was doing real good out the gate. I'm agent of the year in the office. Dang, first after failing the test 10 times.
Ooh. Okay, y'all hear that right there. Okay.
So I'm at Keller Williams.
You probably memorize everything you should do as an agent by this time.
Look, I'm down Keller Williams downtown at the time, because I'm like, I'm gonna get a license, I'm gonna sell big cribs. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all now, you want to get into real estate, it don't matter what office you in, it's about your network, and it ain't about what office you in, because the people believe in you. So once I realized my folks believed in me, I just start focusing on that. I ain't wearing the suit no more. I ain't trying to, I'm downtown. No.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my folks from the hood downtown. Yeah. And we buying cribs. Yeah. So I just start selling houses, like I said, to everybody I knew in my network. I did good the first 2 years. So that's like 14, 15, 2016 come, the market shift a little bit. You know, business ain't as steady. And what happened was I was about to have my first son.
Okay.
So after I got laid off from the previous job, I went, 2014, that's what it was, 2014. I went and got a job doing social work because, again, I had my degree. So that's why I said you still want to have your degree or something to fall back on. So anytime you need to pivot, you still can make ends meet.
You got your pivot, yeah.
So I doing social work. So that's what it was. 2016, the market shifted again for the better. So now I'm popping, like rolling again. So things is working, things is doing good. But what it was, my supervisor, this lady got, like, I don't know, somebody must have told her what I also do real estate. But mind you, I do case management. So I'm in the field, in the street.
Yeah,
so I check on little bad Johnny or Hassan, and then I go show a house.
Yeah. To Hassan's pop.
Well, these kids I was dealing with, probably not Hassan's pop, but maybe his uncle or his cousin. Because between Hassan and his pop, that's the reason why I'm at the crib. Hassan not going to school because he in the crib playing video games, and his pop is doing who knows what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but to your point, yes, I'm showing cribs and I'm checking on clients. So she get on my top, like she just start grinding me up and like trying to check my work and all. I'm like, we been ain't doing that, and my stuff is good. It's done. When we need meetings, I'm there. Like, I'll show up when I need to show up. I give you what you need when you need it. But come on, and y'all only pay $32,000 a year. Like, it's not that.
Yeah, boy, I can't get no Maserati with that.
Bro, I barely could do what I'm doing with it. I mean, that's like $800 every week, every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
To deal with this. So I mean, it was cool. But what happened was I went to a conference. I went to this conference in Atlanta, and it was an ET event. So like I said, Eric Thomas, like, I came across him the first time I got laid off. Yeah. And it really, like, his videos, like I tell people on YouTube, like, whatever you need, motivation, spiritual pump up, or just inspiration, like, yo, ET got you. So he had this conference, and in the conference, you know how you have a conversation or you somewhere in the room, you feel like they looking at you, talking
directly to you, yeah.
And you like, is he reading my journal? Is he? Was he in my text messages?
Was he in my stories, my DMs?
Right. Like, you know, like how the phone be now. Like when you be on the phone and the stuff pop up as a Facebook ad. Yeah.
My man with the Facebook ad.
Yeah. So he said, yo, you keep saying you gonna do this and you gonna do that, but when you gonna bet on you? You keep building everybody else up. You keep, making the excuse that you need to get this, you need to do that, you need to have all these things before you jump out there. But when you gonna bet on you? And in that moment, I swear to goodness, I start crying. And I went in the bathroom. I called my wife. I said, "Yo, I can't do it no more." She said, "What? What can't you do? What's up?" I said, "I ain't going back." So at the event, I sent my resignation. I gave him a 30-day notice that I'm out.
That's powerful.
And I ain't been back since 2016 because between the pressure that she was trying to put on me, my supervisor, and the attitude I was getting, like, you don't even show up till 11 o'clock and you pressing me about stuff, dog. Like,
Yo, that's kind of amazing right there. Like it was a lot that ran through my head when you said that, man. But like you said, like when you gonna bet on yourself, and I just did an interview and the young lady was saying the same thing, man. So this seems, I'm wondering how much of a common theme this is going to be as I interview more entrepreneurs about them taking the lean in to bet on themselves, you know, because I went through my own little journey of that. Like I'm in the fruits of it right now, where I was doing everything for everybody else. You know, I was a leader of a lot of things, and even with working with partners and all of this other stuff, you know, and then this was a moment where God told me straight up, yo, I want you to give it all back. I want you to give it all back. It's your time. Like, when are you going to work on yourself? When you going to bet on yourself? And so here I am betting on myself.
It's easier to help other people and let them deal with the full responsibility, and you just be a part of the good stuff, because that's what it is. So like,
because you can always throw your hands back and say it ain't my fault because you ain't the leader of the situation, right? Okay.
Right. So, and that's or I'll tell you the other thing. I feel like in our community, we're not taught to be confident.
Yeah, man.
We're taught, like, it's nice to say you love yourself or you care about yourself, but the teaching you to be humble part, I think we put too much on the humble part. Yeah. Because I'm gonna just say, as a black man, if you too strong, you too confident, you arrogant, you cocky, you all these other things, but why can't I just be a person that believe in myself?
Yeah.
So
there's a difference.
I think it takes time to unwind all of that.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, because I was working on unwinding it and trying to hide that layer, I really just didn't feel big or confident about myself. I was using my work as my shield to show that I was confident.
Yeah.
And even in that, I made a couple bad moves trying to impress or trying to live this lifestyle or show this lifestyle that I really wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So that's the other part of like my business journey that like you see me now, but like I had some bumps trying to live it again. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, I don't but I'm out here spending faster than what I'm making. You know, not paying taxes, not setting stuff up for different things. And it takes it longer for you to really get to the fruits of your labor, because again, you keep trying to impress people that you don't even really need to impress, or you keep trying to portray a certain persona. But like I said, that comes from, again, that inner voices that you tell yourself. So I think once you realize like, yo, some people technically aren't meant to be leaders. I will say that. Yeah,
that's a fact.
But we're all leaders in their own rights. It's just a matter of what level you want to be on. So I just think that, you know, once you figure out if you're really good at it, you got to, like you said, you got to jump in on it. And at the end of the day, I had to also learn failing is not the end all be all. And I think that, again, comes from depending on your upbringing. Like, you fail a test or you do something wrong, you get scolded, you get in trouble for everything. So now you get accustomed to not wanting to disappoint, embarrass, or make a mistake, because you're scared of what the outcome is going to be. But honestly, in this journey, the failures are what really make you better.
When you said you were living up to this lifestyle, when you said you were living up to this thing, right? What was it that made you kind of scale back and go, oh, whoa, this ain't me and this ain't smart? You know what I mean? Like, what was that part?
So when I realized you can't outrun it. So it's kind of like when you try to portray this certain image, you constantly got to keep it going. So like, especially like you look at our society now, everybody want to portray that they tough. So everybody shooting everybody. Like, it's only but so much tough you could be. Or even the everybody that was up during the pandemic with the PPP. And that's why I just was chilling. Like, the money going to run out, because again, you can't keep up with something if you don't know how to really produce it or sustain it. So for me, like, after a while, you stop trying to avoid bill collectors. You stop. You get tired of, you know, living that way. And I met a couple cool people during my process that I realized, like, these cats got hundreds of cribs or whatever the business is. They drive Hondas. They wear holy shoes. That's really what it was. This one old head I met, I want to say boy had like 200 cribs. He was buying cribs from back in the day, and just be getting them for cheap, right? All in decent neighborhoods. This bull cut the back of his New Balances off and turned them into flip-flops.
Oh, shit. Man, frugality, man. And I know a couple of rich people on the same tip, and it blew my mind, man, when I saw some of the people of what they own and how they dress. I'm like, yo, that's not what we see when we get money. So what's that about?
So like, it's just different flexes, but the flexes aren't, like they say, the loudest one in the room is the scaredest one in the room, or the weakest one in the room. Like that scene from American Gangster, like the bulls that had them crazy suits on. They wasn't the ones.
They wasn't the ones holding the bag. So, all right, man, your story is great. I gotta also unpack some things for there's a lot in this and we running on time. So one thing I'm gonna talk about is this personal network thing, right? Because even when I was I had took your seminar in your class, your ride along, man, that joint was super dope. And even at the end, you know, everybody's inspired. You definitely mentioned, like, when you even started working for the folks downtown, the real estate agents, you tapped into your network. You tapped into your college friends. You tapped into your high school people. You tapped into your network. Like, they didn't give you a book of clients, right? They straight up said, yo, go sell, right? So who are you going to sell to? You ain't stand on the corner and say, I got houses, y'all, right? So you got to tap into your network. And that's one of my biggest things when people are starting off their brands. They like, I'm sure you can do it another way, right? But for me and my experience and anything and everything that I even started, even when I was working at the private school and I got promoted, And I was in charge of all of the social media. The first thing I did was ran to all my folks like, yo, follow us on social media. Right. So you work with your core. So talk to the people that are just getting into real estate and they need to put butts in them homes. They need to get people in them homes and they probably don't got the best social media presence or even know how to market, do that. They just got this house because they heard this is what they need to do. So how do they sell?
So I tell people, keep it simple, right? Stick to what you know.
Okay.
You have so many options in this world, the social media and the internet, that you can do different things. But become a master at just one thing specifically, get good at that, and then branch off. So for me, I say, I know West Philly up, down, all around. Yeah. I'm going to be the West Philly real estate agent, the best bull. So none of these other agents want to come to West at the time. I'm going to be the West Philly bull. So for a minute, I was West Philly Ant because that was all I was selling and marketing. Okay. West Philly. And that was really where I got to get my feet foundation and build my foundation. I mean, outside of that, is honestly, you can't be scared of people's opinions. Like getting in this business, especially people that know you, again, you got to work on that self-esteem, work on that. That's your inner ego talking you out of something. Or you playing small. So it's like, once you learn to deal with that, like if you can't sell to the folks that know you and trust you and allegedly love you the most, you're going to have a hard time selling to strangers because they don't care nothing about you. Yeah. And honestly, selling to my network is what helped build the trust because they'll do the reviews for you. Yep. Even though at the time, the first couple cribs I sold to my homies. Like I'm talking about my homies I play ball with at the park. They knew I ain't know nothing. The other agent was coaching me and helping me get through the process. Yeah. But I'm listening, I'm helping. They got what they wanted at the end of the day. So it was a win-win. It covered it. Yeah. So I just say that to say you kind of, to me, if your grandmom, your cousin, your aunts and uncles, if they ain't buying from you, you're going to be in trouble. Yeah. And I get it. Some people close to us don't support us. And it is tough sometimes. They don't support us like strangers do. But at the same token, it's enough people in your inner circle. If they're really in your circle, they should be supporting your business.
That's a fact, man. That's a big fact. So let's talk about your real estate journey now. Like, where you at? Let's talk about some of the pitfalls that people might go through. Like, in your experience, what are some of the pitfalls in real estate? We see a lot of, when, like you said, we see the lures that people show us. We see the,
you want the jet skis.
I want the truth. You want the hard truth, because I know everything is like you said, it's levels. You know what I mean? So it's like more money, more problems. Like you got to sustain these things. So talk about that. Yeah.
Dog, this is every month.
True. Yeah, that's the truth. Hold them papers up.
One water bill. Well, who is this? Something else from the city. Oh, this might be the IRS or something. A tax bill.
Oh man.
It don't stop. So I mean, what I would say about real estate, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, especially on social media. Yeah. I like to say, as Tracy would say, my big sis, my mentor, you got to look at the people that's been true to this and that's been tried. Yeah. If you ain't been through no ups and downs to it, you really don't know what you really built for or what your skill set is. Yeah. It's real good. Like it was real good. Like me and my boy was talking. It was real good last year when everybody could get money out of the air and could buy cribs and they was selling quick. Now let's them numbers drop. Let's see how creative you are. Let's see if you still rehab them houses for them prices. Yeah. See if you could pay them prices we was paying. Yeah. So I mean, I just think that you gotta be really locked in on it. This what you really want to do, you're going to do it good, better, and different. That's one thing I tell people. I could do a deal and not make no money and still get up and do another deal the next day. Yeah. Because it's like, again, it's not about the one deal for me. It's not about getting it all at once. Like I'm going to be doing this damn near forever in different facets of the business. Yeah. But I'm just not going to be working as hard as I keep getting better and building my team. Yeah. But the truth about it is, again, you don't get rich overnight with this. Like sometimes you get a hit, you get a lick, you make a couple of dollars like that, be like, damn, like that was too easy. But most of this stuff is more grinding and you getting your money in increments, you getting it in spurts. Everybody go through cycles in all businesses. But I think if you can get around the right people and set your infrastructure up, it'll avoid some of the pitfalls. So again, when we talk about the pitfalls of not properly documenting your income, So now you can't get money from the bank, not properly having your credit set up the right way so that you can leverage the credit to, again, get money from the banks. Not having certain things on automation, like you shouldn't be collecting rent hand to hand and doing cash transactions. You shouldn't be still handwriting documents. Everything should be digital. You should be able to keep records of those things, whether it's in Dotloop, whether it's in a Google Drive, whether it's in DocuSign. I don't care what it is, but you should be having systems in place that you can automate your business. Because if your name is trash in this business, it's going to get around real quick.
So let's talk about that relationship thing, man. Yeah, go into that a little bit.
But and that's so in the relationships, the hitters, like the dudes, like they talk about hitters in this. No, it's hitters in real estate. The dudes that know and the dudes that put people on, like that make certain things happen, the word get around like, no, he ain't what he say he is, or he can't be trusted, or he's not even providing the proper service to people. So, and again, if you're not for the people, or if you're not doing proper business, like, man, you're gonna be out of this business. You're gonna be talking about, the bulls that used to sell knives door to door, be making a phone call, and then next thing you know, you see them selling cell phones or electric energy and whatnot. Like, like, damn, you was doing real estate, now you doing health and fitness. You doing what's that joint, Herbalife? Like, come on, cuz, like, what's up?
Yeah, what's that about? So how tight is the real estate community? Does it work? Because I know Philly, man. I love Philly because Philly is what I call a small, big city. You know what I mean? Like, everybody know everybody indirectly. Like, we all know each other through
one
somebody.
Person away from the right.
Yeah. So how's that network in real estate?
So again, it's the same thing, but it's like everything. It's a little clicky. So, again, but the dope thing is, it's enough money out here in real estate. I don't care what city you in, that you can build your tribe. And that's why me and Lorenzo started the investment blueprint and do what we do, because we basically was like, man, we tired of waiting for people to call us. Like, we dope. Like, we might not be into the flashy stuff and all the extra stuff that you see out here for the gram, but it's people out here that resonate with us, and that, that attract to us, that we can help and we can work with. So we just said one day, like, yo, it is what it is. We just go and find them people. And I mean, look, that's how we found our tribe. And like you said, we could get you business credit. We could help you find houses. We could teach you like property management. We could teach you how to rehab houses. Like, again, in this network for me, like, I done learned how to build my construction crew. I'm rehabbing cribs in 60 days. Yeah,
that part, man. So talk also about, so you built multiple streams of revenue throughout this thing. So you're not just cutting deals and being a real estate broker, but you got the investment blueprint situation popping. You got, your good neighbor group. So let's talk to us and talk to people about how you built this out, and how many different streams. Did you see this, or did you just snap at the opportunities? How'd this happen?
So again, I used to be wanted to be jack of all trades, master of none. But again, I realized I'm burning myself out. And every time you start something else, the other thing drops. Yeah. So it's like, for anybody, what's the foundation? So my foundation is real estate sales. That's my 9 to 5. That's my bread and butter at the end of the day. Yeah. But from there, I can do different things, and we call it like the spider arms or spider legs. Yeah. So I got rentals in there. I got my property management in there. I got the construction, because whether it's my property, somebody else's property, contractors are going to be needed. Tenants are going to be needed. Home buyers are going to be needed. So it's all one wheelhouse. It's just a matter of what the need is at the time. In that, again, now I branch out. I can do a little bit of consulting. I can do a little bit of education. I can do some community service. It's so many different things you can do. But again, it all funnels and starts off the real estate. And then most people, now I'm not going to say most people, but I haven't really made a big announcement about it yet. But again, I'm an agent at Mosaic Brokerage. I just got promoted to sales manager for the residential side of the business. So now I actually help run the whole residential sales for the office in addition to my team. Wow. But again, I couldn't do that until I was showing people, like, I'm already running a small team on a small scale. And that's when the opportunity came, to your point, but now I'm choosing which opportunities fit and don't fit. I'm not just doing it because I need to get to $1.
Yeah, because you know where you fit. You, like you said, have real estate sales. Like, okay, yeah. Okay, no, I got it.
And it's not taken away from what I'm doing. That's the thing.
So you know your lane and you staying in your lane, you know what I mean? And even if it's like a turn off or however like that, you still come back to that lane. Like you still,
right.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if it's related to real estate, even if it's not for me, it might be for a client. So I can pass it off and still make my bread.
Yeah. And still and maintain an even better relationship with that. Like, cause you just pass on some gems. All right. So let's talk to the person right now that just got into the real estate game. Let's talk to the person that's on their 8th time taking this test or 18th time taking this test, right? Let's talk to the person that is going through all of the bills and they like, yo, what the, right? Like, I'm about to turn this all over. Like, cause I know you probably been there before, man. We've all had our moments and we had to push through for the breakthrough. So talk about that moment for you and encourage somebody else in that process right now.
Nah, so I'm gonna be real. I had to learn that good, bad, or indifferent, but especially when the bad is coming through, when it's really, really thick, it's gonna pass. And it's hard when you in it, but if you sit still, honestly, it works out a lot better and it actually smoothens out a lot faster if you just sit still. A lot of times we keep trying to force things and do it our way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let it unfold on its own, but if you sit down and let certain things develop, you'll kind of realize where you went wrong, who you worked with that was wrong, who don't fit, what don't fit. And as it comes back out, sometimes you double back and you get what you missed or what you fell short of and you double that. Yeah. So again, I could be hurt. And that's the thing. I could be hurting this month, but next month, because I'm constantly doing the work and I'm already locked in, it's just a matter of time before the get back, come back. Yeah. So that's why I keep this board now. I said for 2023, like I'm really trying to be mindful and keeping track of what I got working and what's going on, because granted, like I said, I could go 3-4 weeks because I'm not trying to maintain a certain lifestyle. I'm still fine. My bills is going to be paid. Yeah. It's just a matter of the additional revenue or the bonus money sometimes. Yeah. But again, if you just sit still and know that you dedicated to the work and you committed, it's going to come back. It's just a matter of when. And the thing is, you got to be okay with knowing that you don't even know. Because again, everything is not in your control. Some of everything is not in your control. You got I like that, man. Just say it again. Say it again.
That's good, man. That's good because it's so simple, but it's so complex in the same breath, man. Like, but it comes with, I think, realizing, like, you know how it is when you sit back and look at certain situations. Like, even when you bought your crib, you like, yo, it's frustrating. They keep asking me for certain stuff, and you like. Then when you get to the table, you like, well, it wasn't that bad because I still got here. I just had to deal with it. Yeah. So, and that's one of the things I think that helps when you deal with stuff. You accept it, good, bad, or indifferent, but you don't. This go back to, you talk about the confidence, self-esteem part. Yeah. You don't let that dictate who you are as a person. That part.
When you learn how to control that part, the inner emotion and ego to that stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's client cursed me out. Like, I had a little situation, somebody the other day, like they feel some kind of way. And I'm cool with that. And I can acknowledge that it was partially my fault, but at the same token, like, it ain't going to move my spirit. Like, that's your energy. Yeah. You mean? So it's like, I'm cool. Like,
yeah, that's man. I've been listening and working on. So the end of the year, usually I take the last week to do a lot of reflection. And this time around, man, I've been really focused on meditation and manifestation and a lot of that stuff. So I just been listening to all of this stuff and all of these lectures. And one of the biggest things, man, that I took away was that nobody's doing this stuff to us. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a reaction. It's a chemical reaction in our bodies to people's bad behaviors. And it's like, because we always say, man, they make me mad, man. They did this to me, they did that. Like, we passing the blame and we playing victim, you know. And so, like, we got to take ownership of the situation. And I love how you say it's be still, like, peace, be still, you know, like, be still and know that I am God. That's biblical. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be still in your moments. And I've had moments like that. I had a moment where it was a crazy moment. And I was like, yo, what's going on? God, what are you doing? Like, it was so much going on in my life. And I was at work and I was like paralyzed at my keyboard. I couldn't move. And one of my mentors called me and I was like, listen, I can't, I had a tour that was that I had to do. Like, I was like, I can't do the tour. She's like, what is going on, Jerry? I was like, I think God wants me to quit. And she was like, I was like, now? It's crazy. It's like an out of body experience. I don't even know. This is the first time I quit. And But she said that she was like, no, Jared, you got to be still. She said that she was like, you're doing a lot and you're trying to push through too fast. Sit still. And she was like, first off, also know that it's God talking because the devil talks too. So she was like, go be still. And I mean, I literally did that. I took that time. I didn't even say nothing to all my bosses. And thank God they weren't micromanaging like that because I did my job. Right. So they weren't even looking for me. I literally, because our office was in a church. So I went down into the chapel and I just like slid under the pew and fell asleep. And then I woke up and God said, yo, just send them the email, tell them where you at with it. And so literally, as soon as I sent the email, they responded. They said, let's meet on Monday. It was a Friday. They said, let's meet 7:00 on Monday. And we got in there, we worked everything out and everything turned out good. But it was only from me being still, just like you said, because when you're trying to rush through and trying to really fix the problem too fast, like you're going to miss those things that you need to be analyzing and pay attention to. And like you said, that self-confidence, like that failure aspect, like that, I'm feeling like a failure. I'm being like, depending on how you grew up in the trauma with failure and all that other stuff. That's why I'm big on my kids. Like when they like, I failed, I'm like, yo, hooray, right? Hooray. What did we learn from failure? You know? And like my daughter, she always repeat everything I said. So like I'm reading this book and she sees the audio. She like, how to fail at everything and still win big. Well, Dad, you taught me if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I was like, listen, ain't nobody got time for you.
Right. You're not using it right. You're not applying it right.
That was 2021, Jared. But yeah, no, like, so I love all of these gems that you dropping, man. And like you said, like, you got to be okay with not knowing. Like, I think that's the beauty of being human. Like, right. If we really knew, if you knew this would be the Anthony now, right? If you knew when you were 18, you know, selling your duffel bags, right? Your duffel bags are the thumbs up, right? If you knew back then that you would be here, would you have even went through some of those trials and tribulations that catapulted you to the next level?
So that's a tough question, man. Honestly, I think it wouldn't have took so long. Okay. I will say that. I guess to your point, I wouldn't have made so many choices off of emotion or what I thought what I was supposed to do, whether it was for me or for other people. Oh, okay. So, you know, I don't know where I would be, but like you said, I think the road traveled would have been not as rough per se.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just say that. Okay. You know, but I mean, outside of that, for sure, like I try to instill these things that we're talking about in my kids now. So, and like, that's the thing. My youngest son, like you talk about picking and choosing what you hear. Yeah. Like you said, he would have just heard, oh, it's cool to film. Been like, no, bro. He'd have been like, I failed. Hooray. You know what I mean? My oldest son, he not trying to hear none of that. He like, I don't feel at nothing. Like I'm a dog on it. So for him, I got to like work on him with decompressing because I'm kind of the same way. So we need time to decompress. Like it's cool, you know, but I try to, like you said, all them things is in my kids. And like I said, I more so I get excited about my youngest son because this boy, it don't matter what age you are, where you at, he gonna walk in the room and let you know I'm here. Yeah. Like, can you help me or can you not help me? Yeah. Oh, he got the juice. Don't forget, that's my brother. He the little brother, but that's the big, and that's my brother. Yo, that's how my little brother always was with me. He's my little big brother. Yo, he be like, yo, if you got something for me, you got something for him. Give it up. And his brother and my son be like, he won't say nothing until you look at him or he be like, because he talk, my oldest, he talks clearer. Yeah. You can hear. You heard him, right? You heard him. Yo, man, and this is a conversation for another day. So I know, like, I want to talk more about like how you so into your kids because I see your videos, man, and you got your kids on the court and they learning like real good skills at an early age, man, through not just sports but following you around. Like even when I do your merch and stuff, you make sure that your kids got it, like they got it on. I think that's just a beautiful thing. And you know what? My wife be cracking me up. She's like, everybody else kids got stuff. Where you and stuff, man? I'm like, yo, I ain't got time to be making no stuff for the brand man kids. She's like, we still making these TikToks and these same crusty shirts from last year. I'm like, listen, all right, I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna put you on the order board. But that's another conversation because, man, I definitely admire what you're doing with your family and your kids and how you bring them along for your journey. And your wife got a business too. Like y'all are really the cream of the crop in my eyes. You know what I mean? Because y'all appreciate that. Thank you, man, for sure. So we're gonna definitely probably have a whole nother interview with you, man. Because
We done took up this hour.
Nah, it's all good. But I'll just leave you with this in regards to the family and the kids, man. Like I said, if it wasn't for now that part, I will say, if it wasn't for my wife, a lot of my personal growth, I wouldn't have tried to even deal with the good, the bad, because being married or in a committed relationship, she's like the first woman I've ever been like with for this long. Like, you young. So it's like we break up 2 weeks from now. We break up 6 months from now.
And
like,
it ain't nothing.
Right. Now it's like, baby, where you going? You been So, it's like, or what, or you did something like, no, babe, I'm sorry. I was just sorry. So,
that union is important, man. Like that shoulder to lean on, that person that picks you up, that person that encourages you, that's important.
And I think that's the key part of what really helps my business, because like I said, I can be me at home. I can take the armor off. That's why I tell people, like just people in general, like if you could come home and you could take your armor off, it makes, again, the load, the pressure not as bad. So again, it's like you said, with my kids, we active, we always get into it. Like when we're not hooping, like you said, we at the houses. And to your point, like now it's to the point, like I know my youngest son, he like real estate. My oldest son, he just like to spend money.
Yeah.
But my oldest son will be the type, he might be the realtor or he might be the person behind the scenes.
Yeah, it sound like it. Yeah.
But my youngest son, like they call him little boss when he come to the job sites now. That's little boss. Like he went to a house not too long ago, was like, oh, upstairs. He's like, yo, upstairs look good. But he's like, the basement is still dirty. He's like, it look bad. Like it's not, he's like, what are they doing, Dad? I'm like, yo, you heard him. Y'all ain't get the stuff out the basement. Yeah.
Yo, that's gonna be like man, to get that at that age, man, that exposure at that age. Because even like you said, you were 18, a teenager when you got exposed to the levels of it, right? And now he's being exposed at what age?
He's 5. But to your point, because we're always around it, like my kids will tell you, like, yo, you need like not a debit card. Like my kids know about credit cards. Like it's like, yo, we going somewhere, yo. Dad, where the credit card, or not how much money where the credit card at? Like, all right, like it ain't we not squabbling over, just get the credit card. Like, we'll deal with it. I'll be trying to tell them, like, yo, you need money to pay the credit card back. That's the part they not there yet.
They not there, but they gonna get it. So, but I even love that because like a lot of us grow up, oh no, stay away from credit, stay away from credit cards. You know what I mean? Like that. Oh no, bad credit card. Like we get that, right? And so now like your kids are learning good relationships with credit. They learn that it's leverage. They learn that it's levels to it. Man, you're gonna have some monsters on your hand in teenage years, man.
Good and bad. Like I said, it's just trying to, again, you give it a lot. Right. So it's even to that, like now, like, cause I like sneakers, my kids like sneakers, but my youngest son, he know more about sneakers than I do at 5. So it's like, dog, I need you to understand your feet going to grow. These $60, $75 sneakers going to turn into $200, $300 sneakers. Like, dog, again, you got to.
You can't max out them credit cards on that.
Right. And the young kids is advanced. So they know about Amazon and order. And like, yo, he be in my phone looking at the Nike app, like scrolling, like, yo, the LeBrons, this.
Yo,
like,
did he ever slip and buy anything on that?
No, I ain't got the passcode.
Okay.
Got the passcode.
Yeah, my kids, I had the passcode my job, man. My kids got stupid.
Right. Like, yo, we can't return this stuff. But that, like, even before we did it, he was like, Dad, remember them black Penny Hardaways we was talking about? Like, dog, what do you know about, why are we talking about Penny Hardaways and it's about to be time for bed, dog? Like, it's like, just wanted to remind you, like, I just wanted to let you know.
When you get that credit card.
Right. So, but now, like you said, that's really, I think, to tie all this in, the real estate part, what it's about. Real estate allows me to spend time and be present with my family. I take my kids to and from school.
That's what's up.
I'm able to, like I said, I ain't got to check with nobody. I want to take a trip or schedule time off, or I coach with my kids, or I go get other kids and do community service events. I could do pretty much whenever. I just got to, again, allot the time for it, but I don't have to check with nobody other than my kids and my wife. I check my schedule with my kids and my wife.
That's what's up, man. That's major blessings. All right, man. So we're gonna wrap this up with this fire round. So I do a fire round at the end, and you got 5 seconds to answer these questions. All right. So you gotta let the counter stops when you just start spitting out an answer. All right. So here we go. Question number 1. One word to describe you.
Energetic.
All right. Question number 2. Where does your strength come from?
My mom.
All right. what do you admire most? All right. What is your favorite thing to do?
Play basketball.
All right. Do you consider yourself successful?
Yes.
All right. Give me 3 things that you have to do every day.
Eat, spend time with my kids, and spend time with my wife.
All right. Last 3 questions. Name 3 things that you would consider to be your good habits.
3 things. I help people work out, and I think about, I don't know. I got 2.
You got two. All right. Last 2. Who inspires you?
My parents, both my parents.
All right. And in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
Hopefully move to the other side of City Line Avenue. And having my businesses run on autopilot.
Hey, autopilot. All right, give it up. Fire round.
Them fire round questions, boy. Those some good joints. You go. See, I'm gonna have to use those. Those are some tough questions.
I'll email them to you, yo.
Those ain't like, like what? Like, oh, it's about me. I thought you were gonna ask me like, all right, like, all right, 63rd and Market. Something like that. Like,
no. We want to know
3 good habits, or what do I like both? I don't know. Like, now I'm gonna have to see my therapist again. We're going to talk about some of this stuff.
Some of these things. Bro, man, this has been a dope conversation, and I'm glad because I know some people are going to be better because of it. That's the whole point of this interview. In the interviews with the brand man, like this right now is a season where I'm interviewing all of my clients. I had this idea, and I'm glad I'm pulling the trigger on it, and I'm glad I got the team that's going to help me pull the trigger. And I thank you for just responding and you know what I mean, going back and forth with my folks and getting everything done, man. Like you the GOAT, man. I'm following you, bro. Like you be pulling the play, so I'm happy to be a part of your network and be your brand man, bro. Like this has been dope. And like
last sweatshirt you gave me, I promise you, everybody I give it, they be like, oh, this is nice. This is good. This not the cheap stuff. I was like, yo, you could wash this one. And
forever. Yo, some of the joints you still be wearing like that was from like 6 years ago, bro.
I got that. I ain't gonna lie. My sneakers is kind of I need to get some of them out the way. Yeah. But I got a closet. All these sweatshirts. I gotta get rid of some joints to make room. Like them and Medicus, but the summertime, I'm about to do my order, so I'm gonna need t-shirts.
Yeah.
So it's man. I
be thinking of something like that. That realtor joint, that was dope. The investor joint, I'm like, yo, those were dope. So I'm like, yo, man, you got the juice, bro. Like you got the juice, and I know that more people are going to be greater because of this conversation. Please tell people where they can follow you, and tell people just let them know where they can follow you. And they get the gems.
So check this out. 2023, we got a couple things going on. So again, follow me on Instagram, A-Lee Real Estate, to see what's going on. I'm always giving you content, giving you information that you can take and use it and have at it, right? Outside of that, stay tuned. Again, you inspired me. Now I switched my Instagram lives. I'm dropping a podcast that's coming out in February called 90 Seconds with A-Lee Real Estate. So that's going to be coming to you. The
lies was the truth, bro. I'll always tap in. I'll be like a groupie in them joints, like, yo, this is jokes.
Nah, so we get ready. We still going through them, but now I'm just giving y'all some more stuff that y'all can take, and y'all can, like you said, if you miss my Thursdays, you can do this on your own. But it's called 90 Seconds with A-Lee Real Estate. Just giving you all things you need real estate and business related. And then just to give y'all just a quick couple tips before you get me out of here, so y'all can get ready. Whatever y'all want to do, just make sure at best this year, I want you to focus on this goal: 660 credit score or better. Yeah. I want you to have a designated personal account that you don't touch the money in. And I don't care if you only save $5 every 2 weeks, but I want that money just to be in the discipline. I'm telling you, the success is in the discipline and being consistent. So whether you do 5 push-ups a day, you save $5 a week, but do it consistently and follow through. And I'm telling you, when the big goals that you want, they start from the small goals. If you can do the small goals and the little things, when you look up a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll be where you want to be. You'll have what you want to have. But again, start with the small goals. Don't try to, again, you can't bite the whole hamburger at once. You take bites and the next thing you know, you're done. So it's like everything. Just start and be just be consistent. That's the main thing. And then I'm sure it'll be some other events that be coming up. But again, just stay tuned. Again, A-Lee Real Estate. You can connect with me there on social media. Licensed Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. I'm here when you call. I'm here when you're ready.
Hey man, listen, I'm ready for the book at this point. You dropping so many gems. I'm like, man, this dude need to write a motivational book, man. I just can't eat the whole hamburger at once. Take your small bites, bro. Like, dang, like this the book.
That's the dad in me, man. And he be like, yo, son, slow down. Like, dog. He's like, you ain't nobody feeding you, boy.
Right? I know all that once, y'all. Y'all heard where y'all can find him. This has been a dope interview. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Anthony, I appreciate you tapping in and saying yes
big
to this,
homie,
man.
Doc. I appreciate you. Salute. Nothing but love. I'm looking forward to all your 2023, man.
Hey.
And you keep pumping it, man. Keep pumping it. I'm loving it.
I can't stop, man, like you, man. Like I once I got it in, it ain't no failure.
It get addictive, right? You start missing it.
Yeah. I gotta be on this all day, man. This is addictive. I love the energy, man. So y'all know where it is. Y'all know where to follow him. I'm your brand man. Interviews with your brand man, Anthony Lee. Make sure y'all go tap in on everything that he's doing. Get in on those ride-alongs, yo. It was a blessing to me. Like, make sure y'all tap in, sign up, pay for them joints, get in. You're gonna learn something, even if you don't get into real estate right away. Like, I walked away and I wasn't jumping into the real estate thing. I just knew that wasn't me. Like, I know my lane, but I learned like, and the leverage that I learned. So it's not that I don't want to get into it. It's like, okay, when I pull my plays over here, I'm definitely getting a couple of cribs on this.
But the plays, they all interchange, and that's what I did. And for real, to your point, we need to touch on this today. A lot of the other people I know that are successful in real estate, they're successful in real estate because of what else they do outside of real estate. Yeah. But the way you make the money grow, the money has to work for you, and there's no better way than real estate for the money to work for you, and you ain't got to keep working.
That part. And that's exactly why I'm doing it. That's why I said I'm stacking my chips, because I'm going right there for that, because I need that to happen. That's going to be college tuition money. That's going to be all of that. Just like what you said, man. Like, and like you said, like, man, rich man, poor dad. We know what this is. Like, I can close this out 3 times, man. We got to go. All right, y'all. Y'all know how to tap in. Peace, y'all. Love.
I made it come up. I made it come up.
Check out our next episode with voiceover actress, director, producer extraordinaire, Miss Courtney Lene. Get ready to be inspired.